YouTube video Persuasive Speech on Being a Hero by George Schooley was done very well. There are a couple things that George can improve on through his speech. These things being verbal and nonverbal communication. First, we will talk about verbal communication. The problem with George's verbal communication happens in two areas. The first being articulation. According to the textbook, A Concise Public Speaking Handbook in Chapter 18.1, articulation is the process of producing speech sounds clearly and distinctively. George did not speak clearly in some of the areas of his speech. He can improve on this by practicing his words that he has most trouble speaking. The second being rate of speech, which according to A Concise Public Speaking Handbook is in Chapter 18.1, is rushing through a speech, which is a symptom of speech anxiety. George's speech anxiety, I believe George has speech anxiety because he rushes through his speeches. This can be improved by practicing his speech, maybe even in front of a family or friend. Second, we will be talking about nonverbal communication. George has a couple problems with his nonverbal communication also. The first being eye contact. George is good with his eye contact, but he has trouble looking down at his cards. This causes him to lose track of his place in his speech. MIT Biological Engineering says that eye contact makes the audience feel important. This can improve by simply getting to know his speech better and by practicing it multiple times. The second thing would be gestures. George used a lot of hand gestures in his speech. According to Chapter 17.2 of A Concise Public Speaking Handbook, it is best to avoid making minor hand gestures in a speech because it may distract the audience. In conclusion, George needs to work on his communication skills. He can improve on this by practicing and becoming more familiar with his speech. Good communication skills make your audience feel more important and makes them want to listen to your speech.